Okay, so we're still in the exact same time period, 1450 to 1750. We're still in the Renaissance, but something happens that's a pretty big deal. Okay, in your notes, you have all of the artists, and then as we move down, you hit this, the Protestant Reformation. Okay, look at the root words here. In Protestant, you have the root word protest. Okay. In Reformation, you have the root word reform. So we're protesting something and we're trying to reform something. Guys, we're talking about the church. Okay. The only church that's available in Europe at this point is the what is it? The Catholic, the Christian Catholic Church. If you're Christian, you're Catholic. That's it. Okay, listen. Some popes are corrupt. Some priests are corrupt. Some monks and cardinals and bishops and nuns are corrupt. Okay, y'all, every single Catholic pope and every single Catholic priest in history, they're not corrupt. In fact, the majority of them are just fine. But it's that saying, a few bad apples spoil the bunch. You don't hear about the good guys. I didn't teach you the good ones. You hear about the bad ones. Isn't that sad? But it's the way it is. So there are bad ones, okay? But please understand, the entire Catholic Church is not doing some of what we're talking about here. All right. These are just places that are corrupt, that do have leaders that are bad. But in some of the Catholic churches in Europe, especially in the Holy Roman Empire, okay, you've got priests who are pretty corrupt. You've got some priests that were sleeping with their nuns. I think that's not okay. You've got some priests and some popes who have children, illegitimate children. I don't think that's okay. You have some priests who are actually like preaching to people on Sundays, drunk, hungover from the night before. I don't think that's allowed. Some of our popes are corrupt. Some of our priests are corrupt. Okay. Again, please understand. Not all of them. Okay. And if you are currently Catholic and some of the stuff that I'm about to talk about, you're like, we don't do that. I know. It's because the Council of Nicaea? Trent. The Council of Trent got rid of it. Created the modern church. So just understand when I'm talking about excommunication and indulgences and stuff like that, yeah, you don't do it anymore. Okay? Because at a meeting, they got rid of it. Okie dokie? So let's go to a city named Wittenberg, Germany. It's down here. It's kind of in this area. Okay? Oh, I'm on my pictures. Oh my goodness. I can't switch it. There we go. We have a guy. He's a monk. Martin Luther. Oh my gosh. I hear every year, you mean Martin Luther King? No. He's German. He's not American. He's in the 1500s. He's not in the 1960s. And the most obvious, he's a white dude, not a black dude. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. is coming later, and he has to do with the civil rights movement. This is a totally different guy, okay? Martin Luther is a German monk who's, just doing his thing. He's reading the Bible and he's listening to things and he's studying and he's doing what he's supposed to do. And he starts noticing some things. He notices that his particular priest in his particular city is corrupt. He's preaching about the evils of gambling when he himself gambles. And Martin Luther's like, Mr. Priest, sir, I want to do that too. It looks like fun. Why can you do it, but I can't? Well, as a priest, I can handle that kind of temptation better than you can. Hmm. He also starts asking questions like, where does it say in the Bible that good works is what gets you to heaven? Martin Luther believes that something called salvation gets you to heaven. Believing, faith and believing, having faith in God and believing that He is the Savior. That's what Martin Luther believes. Well, the church up to this point is teaching good works. If you do enough, you'll get to heaven. And he says, where does it say that? Well, his priest is like, oh, in James, good works. See? And Martin Luther says, yeah, I see that verse, but the verse says, faith without good works is dead. He says, don't we need salvation too? Don't we need faith? Don't we need salvation? And his priest is like, you, monk, me, priest. Martin Luther's kind of getting shushed. Okay, you've all been in this situation where you have asked a teacher a question and they're like, shh, how does that make you feel? And what are your theories as to why that teacher did that? Because I know you have them. You know why I know you have them? Because you come to my room at lunch and gripe about that teacher with all those theories. I know, because I hear it. Guys, that's kind of what's happening to Martin Luther. And he's like, seriously? I can't even ask questions? I'm just asking questions. Martin Luther did not want to start the revolution that he starts. Okay. He didn't plan it. He didn't really want to leave the Catholic Church. It just sort of happens. Because one of the things that he just cannot understand is the selling of indulgences. You are looking at an indulgence. An indulgence is literally a piece of paper. It's a piece of paper. Whenever you sin, you go to the priest and you say, okay, what do I do to make up for this sin? Well, there's nothing you can do except buy this indulgence. It's literally a piece of paper that says you are forgiven for your sins and you have to pay for it. Where does that indulgence money go? To the mission fields? To, I don't know, turn the lights on in the church? Guys, in class, I show these. I didn't want to upload all these pictures. We went in, oh crap, I just forgot the city. I can't remember the city. Würzburg, look at there it is. We went to a bishop's palace in Würzburg, Germany. Okay. Look, bishop is part of the church, right? Should they have something like that as their house? It's gorgeous. And it was hard, like, looking at it because artistically it's gorgeous. Look at the staircase. The whole ceiling is painted. This room, oh my gosh. This is a better picture. Look at this room. Gorgeous. And like looking at it from an artistic point of view, I'm so glad that this bishop did this house. But the little historian in me was sitting there thinking, where did this money come from? Now, I'm not saying this particular bishop got his money from indulgences. Okay. We do know that other church dudes got their money from indulgences. This was actually my most favorite room, the white room. Is it not gorgeous? Look at that. I can't zoom in on here, but oh my gosh, so cool. Look at this. It's called like, it's like the bishop's palace. Crazy. Biblical? Oh, did I get rid of that? I guess I did. Where does it say in the Bible that you have to pay a priest for a piece of paper that says you're forgiven for your sins? Go ahead, answer. Because the answer is nowhere. See, if you committed another sin later, like if I bought this indulgence, okay, for, I don't know, kicking a dog, I don't know, and then I don't know, spit on somebody later, I would go back and tell my priest, oh, I spit on somebody, and I would have to buy another indulgence. And then later, whenever I go back to the priest and I'm like, oh my gosh, I murdered somebody, I have to buy another indulgence. Where is that in the Bible? Here's another picture of an indulgence. You can even tell that's what this says, the Latin. Indulgentia. I don't know if it's Latin. Actually, I just said that. I don't know if it's Latin. But these are pieces of paper that you literally are buying your way into heaven. And Martin Luther is like, man, I can't find that anywhere in the Bible. I'm looking. What verse says that? And his priest is like, shh, shh, shh. Martin Luther also questions another practice. It's called excommunication. The word is right here. When you are excommunicated, two things happen. First of all, you get kicked out of your church. Okay? Second of all, you get like a one-way ticket to hell. You cannot be forgiven. You cannot come back to the church. You cannot ever be admitted into heaven. You are going to hell. Where does it say that in the Bible? Now, there are places in the New Testament where it talks about like how to deal with problems in the church. And y'all, if you have like, I don't know, somebody selling drugs in your church, your priest or preacher does have the right to ask them to leave and not come back. But that's not all of excommunication. What they don't have the power to do is to send their spirit, their soul to hell. And Martin Luther is questioning that. He's like, where does it say that we have the authority to do that? Because what I see is that there's no other judge except God/Jesus. So do we have that power? Guess what his priest says? Shh, don't talk about that. Well, Martin Luther writes something. Oh, shoot. I lost my arrow again, you guys. There we go. It's called the 95 Theses. I hear this every year. Oh, feces. No, theses. What is a thesis? I mean, you've been doing it all year. A thesis. Right here. A thesis is an idea, a main idea. Well, multiple thesis is theses. These are the 95 ideas. These are things that he doesn't think is biblical, things that he kind of sees wrong with what his church is doing, and he lists them out. He writes about them. In class, I have the 95 Theses book. It's short, just like I've shown you before. Here, let me go here. I'll show you. We can go to Amazon. Oops. And you can look. You can get the 95 Theses. Look, it's $3. It's not for, oh, this one's, 95 Theses and Other Writings, $20. But the 95 Theses is not long. It's basically 95 ideas about things that he sees wrong, ways that he wants to fix things. Okay. He did not plan on causing all the drama that he caused with doing this. Okay? But he does something that is quite shocking to us with this piece of paper. He takes it and he nails it on the door of his church in Wittenberg, Germany. Okay, imagine, I want to see where I'm at on time. Imagine that you made a list of 95 things that are wrong with your mom. 95 things that you hate about your mom. And then you took that list and you taped it to her bedroom door. How's home life going to be for you? Yeah? We look at what he's doing as like, well, duh, you deserve the blowback you got. Look at this door. Look at this. Guys, the church was the only place in the whole city, the whole town, where like everybody went at some point. Everybody went there. So the church doors, big wooden doors, they also become like a bulletin board. You have a lost dog? Help me find my dog. You're having a party Friday night? Anybody who can read this, come to my party. Okay? This right here becomes a bulletin board. The latest news, what's going on, is put here. And if you can read, awesome. He puts this up here, okay, for the purpose of debate. He wants to meet with other people and discuss these things. If they can show him in the Bible where it is, awesome. If not, he wants to debate, like, should we be doing this? And how do we change? Well, as you can guess, all Hades breaks loose. And his particular priest is like, what are you doing? And then he gets in trouble. Okay. He starts circulating the 95 Theses. I mean, we have the printing press. Guys, the printing press is the late 1400s. We're in 1517 with the, what is this called? The 95 Theses. 1517. This would not have taken hold in Europe without the printing press. It had to be circulated quickly to all over the place for this to happen. Okay. The 95 Theses starts getting circulated among people, and people agree with him. And people start questioning the church. And the Pope at the time, Pope Leo X, he's one of our Medici popes. Pope Leo X, he's the one that we did the quotes about, like Martin Luther versus Leo. Leo X excommunicates excommunicates Martin Luther. Does Martin Luther care that he just got excommunicated? I mean, I'm sure he was a little bothered by it because it's just human nature. But he doesn't believe in it anyway. He's like, well, I'm fully aware that excommunication isn't a thing. I know I'm right. So he just starts his own church. Again, Martin Luther didn't plan on all this drama happening. He wants to debate this. But what we have is the creation of the Lutheran, Martin Luther, the Lutheran Church. Okay, it's the first of the Protestant churches. If you go back and look at this word here, Protestant, you see protest, right? Like as the root word. The idea is the Protestant churches are protesting Catholic churches. They want to be different. They want to reform their churches to be more like Bible. Okay, again, listen. If you're a Catholic, every single Catholic church is not doing indulgences. Every single Catholic church is not doing excommunication. Every single Catholic church does not have corrupt priests. Martin Luther's did. And we have a not so great pope at this time in Pope Leo X. All right. So we have our first Protestant church, the Lutheran Church. Now, in all honesty, the original Lutheran Church wasn't really that different from the Catholic Church in like what they did. okay? Like how they actually operated and like how a church service actually went. Um, Obviously, what he's getting rid of indulgences, he's getting rid of excommunication, he gets rid of some of the corruption practices. One of the big things is he gets married. Scandalous. Priests aren't supposed to be married. He says, there's nothing wrong with that. God gave us marriage as a sacrament. Jesus wasn't married. Okay, if you don't want to get married, cool. But he says, I'm going to get married. So you see a lot of like Protestant um, preachers who are married, Protestant reverends, whatever you want to call them, who are married. He starts that. He also starts, oh, there's Pope Leo X. Do you remember now? I showed you those quotes between the two of them. He also starts a little bit of drama. Look at this. Oh, I can't make this bigger. Sorry. Okay, look. What you have here in this color right here, all of that's Catholic. Okay. Um, Francis too, except there's a few Protestants in here. Okay. What you have up here, the Northern Holy Roman Empire, okay, and of course Scandinavia, you have Lutheranism predominantly. This is predominantly, okay. What you have here, look at this color. It's kind of, I don't know, bluish, greenish color. We have Calvinism. This is Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland. I'm going to talk about Calvinism in a minute because we have like all these new churches being created. We'll talk about Henry VIII creating the Anglican Church in just a minute. And then here, remember the Eastern Orthodox Church? Okay, this pink right here, that's the Eastern Orthodox Church. And then right here, the Ottoman Empire, Muslims. So what he does inadvertently is creates this kind of, I don't know, religious divide between people. If you're Catholic, you're ugh. If you're Protestant, you're ugh. Guys, it's the same religion. They're worshiping Jesus of Nazareth as Savior. The church that I go to, diagonal across the street, is another church. Literally across the street, diagonal. And it's a different denomination from us. Okay, listen. Our parking lots are right across from each other. I've gone up there on like Saturdays and stuff, like when I used to work with the teenagers, and they would be having church because they have church on Saturday. And you know what people would do in the parking lot of a different church? They would wave at me. They didn't say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna murder you. They waved. Because even though we're different churches, we're still the same religion. Guys, what's gonna happen is a war. A war between Protestant churches and Catholic churches. Now, in all honesty, when the 30 Years' War gets going, yes, it's originally over like the difference in churches and beliefs, but it definitely turns into a class thing, a social status thing. Because think about what social status is mostly going to go with Luther. Which one? See, who's in charge of the nobles? The king. Who's in charge of the king? The Pope. Could the Pope strip a noble of his nobility, of his title? Oh, yeah. The peasants don't care about that kind of crap because they don't have any titles. They don't have anything to be taken away from them. Plus, there's this mindset that we can't read, right? So Martin Luther's telling us the truth, not the Pope, not the priest. We trust him. We don't trust you. So what's going to happen is predominantly you're going to see more lower level peasants going to the Lutheran church, more upper level nobles staying with the Catholic Church. You're also going to see a divide north and south. In the Holy Roman Empire, which is here, you're going to see, I mean, look at this. In the north, predominantly Protestant, Lutheran. In the south, predominantly Catholic. Crazy war. It's called the 30 Years' War. It's not actually, here we go, a war that lasts for 30 years straight. You have fighting a little bit and then peace, and then fighting and then peace, and then fighting and then peace. Okay. And it's often stated that they're fighting for religion, but really they're fighting for social status, control, stuff like that. Nothing's ending it until. Ooh, did I not put it on here? Oh, I did. Right here. Until this. Try to understand. I mean, I know we've had the Crusades, okay, which were religious wars. And I'm not saying they're right because I think they're stupid. But the religious wars with the Crusades were religion against religion. This is the same religion, y'all. Same God. Same Jesus. They just believe in a couple of different things. I mean, it's just crazy to me. I don't know if I put the amount of people that died. Is it a third of Europe? I mean, a third of the Germanys? I don't know. A whole chunk of the Holy Roman Empire dies, okay, because people are constantly fighting for 30 years-ish, until we have a group of people get together in a place called Westphalia. The word is right here. Westphalia. And at the peace, or you'll hear it called the Treaty of Westphalia, basically here's what they decide. Each individual German king, prince, or noble, so that means whoever's in charge of whatever they own, all right? Whoever's in charge of that area of land, not the Holy Roman Emperor, okay? Whoever's in charge of a smaller area of land, they choose whether their city is going to be Catholic or Lutheran. They decide. What if you're in a city that they decided to be Catholic and you don't want to be Catholic? Sorry. If you're rich, go somewhere else. If you're a peasant, go somewhere else, except you probably can't afford the transportation. Nobody cares. What if you're in a place that chooses to be Lutheran and you want to be Catholic? Nobody cares. The Peace of Westphalia is going to calm things for a while-ish, but it doesn't really fix the issue, but it does calm things. This is the Holy Roman Empire. Look at all those different colors. It's a mess, you guys. It's a mess. Every single one of those chooses what they want to be. And again, predominantly, you're going to end up with Lutheranism being mostly up here in the north. You're going to end up with Catholicism being mostly down here in the south. Now, Swiss, is it not? I thought there was some pockets up here too. I think there's some pockets up here too, but Switzerland's right here, and they're going to be something totally different. Calvinist. Okay, so predominantly in the south, you have Catholicism, predominantly in the north. But this is a great map showing you all these different duchies, all these different cities, all these different areas of land. This is supposed to be the Holy Roman Empire. I mean, it is the Holy Roman Empire, but it's pretty much a big mess. Look at that. Okay. We also have something else in the 1600s. Whew. A book comes out. That's it. This book details witchcraft. Okay, what you guys know as like the Salem witch trials, okay, what you study as the Salem witch trials in America, that was nothing compared to the German witch hunts in the 1600s. And when I say German, I'm referring to the Holy Roman Empire mostly, okay? But the German witch hunts in the 1600s, tons of women. Again, I don't know if I put the number here. Look at this. You're like, that's not that many. Yeah, it is. Okay, listen. When we're talking about witchcraft, we do not mean witches with green skin and big pointy hats. Or like, that's not what we mean, okay? Witchcraft to them is like you made a pact with the devil. Uh-oh. You've sold your soul. Uh-oh. Okay? Look at some of the pictures in this book that show what witches are like. We have the printing press. So this book is circulating. These pictures are circulating. These women are doing like some kind of a something where they're sacrificing something. I love this picture. This witchy woman, she's feeding her little, I don't know what those are, demon lizard children. I think it's funny. Yikes, man. The idea is these women are out here like dancing with demons. Guys, this is just freak out. People are looking at these pictures and they're like, oh my gosh, right? And the book talks about women who are smart, educated women are sometimes these witches. Single women are sometimes these witches. Huh, that'd be me. When you hear people say, oh, it's just a witch hunt, that means you're just trying to find a reason to get somebody in trouble. You're just trying to find a reason. A lot of midwives of the time, like home remedy type doctor ladies, herbal stuff. Oh, she's married to Satan. Look, these women are like giving their babies to Satan. This book is just crazy. And tons of women are put on trial for being witches. And they have like all of these crazy dang, I don't know if I will remember it without looking it up. Like all of these crazy trial by ordeal where like let me think, like women would be thrown in the water, and I can't remember exactly. I believe if they floated, they were witches because that's not natural, I believe. So then we have to kill them. And if they sink, I believe that's right, that's natural, so you're not a witch. Hope she comes up before she dies. But if she dies, it's okay because she's going to heaven. It's just stupid. There were ordeals like where they would like have you hold hot coal, and if your hands burned, you're not a witch. Oops, or something. I don't remember. But still, it's just crazy. You see a bunch of women being hanged as well as being put on pyres to be burned. All this religious fervor, it's sad really because it's totally misguided and people are just jumping on the bandwagon. I mean, do people still do that today? Facebook, social media. Sorry. Yeah, they do. It's sad. All these people are found guilty for what? Were they really sold, like selling their soul to Satan? Probably not. But that is like happening at the same time as the 30 Years' War, and we have all these people fighting between Lutherans and Catholics, and it's just getting like, right? Man, the Holy Roman Empire is kind of a mess at this point, isn't it? And the Holy Roman Empire kind of dissolves at this point. Although technically on paper it still exists, but during this time period it kind of dissolves. It's there on paper. It's not there in reality at all anymore, if it ever was. This right here, I just find it kind of interesting so you can see it. Now, this is in England, I believe, right? I think it's in England. I don't know. It's in English. But look, the Devon witches in memory of Temperance Lloyd and these witches. Yeah. This right here, 1685. Oh, England. The last people in England to be executed for witchcraft, tried here and hanged in hope of an end to persecution and intolerance. How sad. 1685. Do we still deal with persecution and intolerance today? How sad. Why do we do that as human beings? I don't know. But look at this. In the hope of an end to persecution and intolerance. 1685. Very sad. Look at that big boy. We'll deal with him next.